Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel for another dairy-free Friday. So today what I'm going to be sharing with you are some alternatives that you can make as a breastfeeding mother if you have a baby who has a cow's milk protein allergy and you don't know. Your options might be to formula feed and switch to a dairy-free formula, or to just make the choices yourself and exclude dairy and maybe soya yourself. And yeah, if that's what you want to do, if you want to choose to continue to breastfeed, then you need to make some changes to your diet. And today I'm going to share with you some of the swaps that I have made that have felt fairly easy to enable me to carry on breastfeeding a baby with cow's milk protein allergy. One of the first things that you're going to want to swap is your milk. So for tea and coffee, what I like to use instead of cow's milk is something called Oatly Barista. So Oatly is it's a Swedish brand of oat milk, and they do lots of different ones, but the Barista one, which is in a grey bottle, I'll put a picture of it here, that is amazing for coffee because it's also foamable. So if you have a kind of machine at home that can froth milk, then you can do it with this, which pretty much all the other alternative milks you can't froth. And also a lot of the alternative milks split or curdle when you put them into a hot drink, and Oatly doesn't. It tastes amazing, it tastes really creamy, and it doesn't taste like oats, it just tastes like milk. It's really amazing. And they do lots of different versions of it. So they do like an Oatly chocolate milk, which is amazing as well. You can warm it up and it tastes like hot chocolate. And it's got vegan chocolate in it, so it's safe for vegans as well. They do something which I've never had, so I'm not recommending it, but I see everyone raving about it, which is Oatly cream. So it's an alternative to cream. That's supposed to be amazing as well. They do an organic version, a normal version that's not a frothable version. They do loads of different ones, and I would really recommend them. I've tried quite a few different ones and they have been my favourite so far. They can be hard to get hold of because they're in demand, and they're I think they've just started selling Oatly in America, so they are struggling to keep up with the supply and the demand because they are really good, and so people try it and love it, and that's that. If you can't get hold of it, I have had hemp milk before, which is quite nice as well. I think it's called Good Hemp, possibly. Again, I'll find a picture, I'll put it here, and that's quite nice. If you make it like a latte, it's really nice as well, but I do prefer Oatly. I think it's a lot creamier flavour. It's really nice. So when I had to cut dairy out of my diet, at that point I was using salted butter as my spread that I would use on toast and things. So I've changed that, and I changed to Flora dairy free. It's not the same as butter, don't for a second think it is the same, but I think compared to other margarines, it's pretty much the same as all margarines. It's plant-based, so I believe it's suitable for vegans as well. Yeah, it's fine. The only thing, because I'm used to having salted butter, I sometimes put just a tiny little crunch of salt on the top of it just to make it taste a little bit more normal. Normal to me. But obviously you don't need to do that, it's absolutely fine. It melts fine as well, like if you're having it on toast. I have tried the Vitalite made with coconut, and that was fine. You can taste the coconut in it, but it doesn't melt quite the same. It looks the same, just runnier, so I'm not as keen on that. I definitely prefer the Flora dairy free to that. Now the thing you really need to watch out for is if you are excluding dairy from your diet for a baby, I would always recommend excluding soya from the get-go as well, and then retesting, so having something with soya flour in it, say when they're symptom free for a month or two, and then you'll know if you need to continue excluding soya. I retested and he reacted, so I've had to continue excluding soya. It's always worth testing because soya is in everything, and you don't really realise until you're excluding it how forms of soya are in absolutely everything. So that's going to be the biggest challenge that you might face, is trying to buy things that don't have not just dairy in them but no soya. What you'll find is that most supermarket breads are full of soya flour. I've got a really big Asda store right by me, and when you go over there and look through all the loaves of bread, almost every single loaf has soya flour in it. All the stuff they make themselves, they use soya flour, so you can't buy anything from their bakery. They keep saying to me, oh, go to the free from section, and it's like, that's all well and good, but that's all gluten-free, and I don't need to be gluten-free. And you know, given a choice, having tasted both normal food and gluten-free food, I would always choose non-gluten-free, because the flours that they use to replace normal flour for gluten-free stuff just tends to have a different bitty texture that I just don't like. Be really careful when you're buying supermarket bread. It's the ones that might be soya free as well as dairy free tend to be seeded loaves and things like that. So they're almost always brown and yeah, seeded. So if you don't mind that, then good luck. Otherwise you could make your own bread. I found a really good recipe online that uses honey instead of sugar, and it makes a beautiful, absolutely beautiful bread. Obviously it's not suitable for vegans because it's honey, but you know, you could just substitute that for sugar instead if you wanted to. But yes, you could make your own bread. That's another option, and you could just kind of make a couple of loaves in one go, slice them up, chuck them in the freezer so that you've always got some fresh bread when you want it, and then just defrost them whenever you need them. That's probably a good way around it. Obviously you can't have chocolate when you are trying to be dairy free, but there are loads of really good chocolate alternatives out there, like what are they called? There's No Moo, I think it is, or Moo Free is one. I'm just looking up on my phone. There's another one which I had the other day, and it was was it not Boho? Booja, B-O-O-J-A, Booja or Booya, it depends how you pronounce it, I don't know. They're really nice. They make truffles and they're incredible. I had almond and sea salted caramel truffles, and the worst thing about them was the cocoa powder they were coated in. What was inside was incredible, and it melted. It was so buttery. It was lovely, but it was dairy free, soya free. They were amazing. Also another really lovely dairy free chocolate called, it's by ICN Bella. If I remember, I'll put a link in the description box below, and I bought some of theirs before Christmas. It is pricey. It's like £5 a bar for, like, you know, kind of this size bar, but it's really good. The only difference that I could really find, the taste is the same, the taste is just tastes like chocolate, it's lovely, is the melting point. So with normal chocolates, because they use butter in it, it's got like it melts a lot sooner than other chocolates, but this one it melts a bit higher, so you find you have it in your mouth for a bit longer before it all melts, but it tastes lovely. Yeah, they're made, I think they're free of all the top, is it 12 or 14 known allergens, so they're really good. And they also make honeycomb, and they kind of crack it all up and then they cover that in their chocolate, and that's really nice as well. So I'd really recommend them if, you know, you've got something special coming up, or you just really miss chocolate. ICN Bella are amazing. Like I said, I bought some before Christmas, and oh, they were really nice. Now the other thing is to try and find, if you can, what they call accidentally vegan food. So where you have a look and it's not in the free from section, and something just happens to be dairy free and soya free. So a good example of this was the mince pies that Asda sold at Christmas. They just happened to be dairy and soya free, and they were really nice as well. So that was a really happy coincidence. I believe Tesco churros are dairy free as well and soya free. They're frozen and they're supposed to be really good. I hear lots of good things about them. Yeah, there are lots and lots of things. There's actually a hot chocolate in Asda. It's like one of their, what's it called, their finest range, extra special. It's an extra special hot chocolate, and that's really good, and that's dairy and soya free as well. If it's dark chocolate, it tends to be dairy free. It's only as they kind of add the milk to make it milk chocolate that it has dairy in it. So there's loads of things like that. You can obviously opt for things like dairy-free yogurts by Cocoa. I've tried the Cocoa yogurts. I think it was a cocoa vanilla yogurt or coconut, I can't remember, but I wasn't that keen. The texture wasn't right for me, but it's not going to be the same, and you have to accept that. But for the most part, all of my meals are dairy free. I haven't had to adapt much about the meals that we eat, other than instead of maybe using butter, I use the Flora dairy free. Instead of using milk, I use Oatly. So when I'm doing mashed potato, I'll chuck a bit of oat milk in there, and it makes it taste really creamy. It's lovely, you wouldn't know the difference. And for pancake day, I used a normal pancake recipe, and instead of using milk, I used Oatly, and you could not taste the difference. They just tasted like normal pancakes. So you don't have to miss out. If you're only having to strip out dairy and maybe soya, you know, you can easily, with these alternatives, you can easily cope. It's really doable. The only thing I miss is cheese. So you can have cheese, like fake cheese I call it, by a brand called Violife, and there are other brands. Apparently the Tesco one's pretty good, but I don't have a Tesco near me. But I've tried the Violife, like their soft cheese spread, and it was disgusting. I absolutely hated it. But what I will say is I'm a bit of a cheese snob, so I really like good proper cheese. I like Stilton's, Breeze, very mature cheddars, vintage cheddars, and so I just feel like fake cheese. It'll just never ever be as good, so I just don't even try and having the fake stuff, because it's not the same. So I do miss cheese now and then, but for the most part it's okay, because they're worth cutting it out for, the little ones, the babies. They're so worth it. So, you know, it's really doable. Anyway, I'm waffling. I'm gonna go. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about things that are dairy free or soy free, feel free to comment below, and I will try and answer as best I can. I'll leave links to everything that I can think of in the description box below. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. The next video, next Friday, is going to be about our first go at weaning, because we start that, well, it's tomorrow for when I'm filming this now, but it would have been last Sunday for when you see this. So yeah, so we'll be almost a week in by the time I come to film again, so I'll let you know how that's going, weaning a baby who's dairy and soya free but could have other allergies. So it's a bit nerve-wracking because I don't know if he's going to have allergies to other things, so I'm going to be quite scared weaning him tomorrow. It's quite scary, but there we go. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you've liked it, and don't forget to hit subscribe if you want to continue to see these videos, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.